The wind howled across the plateau, carrying with it the dust of centuries and the secrets of a city that once rivaled the greatest metropolises of the medieval world. Ananau, a silent, skeletal ruin, perched on the edge of a ravine in eastern Turkey, was once called the City of 1001 Churches. But today, it is a city of ghosts, its grandeur reduced to broken arches and shattered domes, its stories half buried beneath the grass and the weight of forgotten time. Yet, if you listen closely, you can almost hear the heartbeat of Ani pulsing beneath the stones. It is a heartbeat that has survived invasions, earthquakes, betrayals, and the slow, relentless march of oblivion. This is not just the story of a lost city. It is the story of ambition, faith, genius, and tragedia story that begins with a single, audacious dream. In the 10th century, the Armenian Bagratid dynasty gazed out over the wild, untamed lands of the Caucasus and imagined a new capitala city that would outshine Constantinople, a city that would be the envy of the world. They chose Ani, a windswept hilltop flanked by the Akurian River, a natural fortress with views that stretched to the horizon. Here, they would build not just a city, but a statement. Armenia had arrived. The first stones were laid with trembling hands and soaring hopes. Architects and masons, artists and priests, merchants and soldiers all flocked to Ani, drawn by the promise of something extraordinary. The city rose quickly, its walls thick and high, its gates adorned with intricate carvings, its streets alive with the clamor of markets and the solemnity of processions. Cathedrals soared skyward, their domes catching the sun and casting long shadows over the bustling squares. Ani was not just a city, it was a living tapestry, woven from the threads of 100 cultures. Armenians, Byzantines, Persians, Georgians, Arabs, and even Vikings, yes, Vikings walked its streets. The city's markets overflowed with silks from China, spices from India, and gold from the farthest reaches of the known world. It was a place where ideas collided, where faiths mingled, where the future was being written in stone and song. But beneath the surface, the city's heart beat with a restless energy. For Ani was a city on the edge not just geographically, but politically, spiritually, and existentially. It stood at the crossroads of empires, coveted by kings and caliphs, threatened by enemies seen and unseen. Its beauty was both its blessing and its curse. The first great twist in Ani's tale came not from without, but from within. The Bagratid kings, flush with power, began to quarrel among themselves. Brothers turned against brothers. Cousins plotted in shadowy corridors, and the city's unity began to fray. As the royal family splintered, Ani's enemies circled like wolves. In year 1064, the unthinkable happened. The Seljuk Turks, led by the formidable Alp Arslan, swept down upon Ani. The city's walls, once thought impregnable, were breached. The streets ran red with blood, and the great cathedrals echoed with the screams of the dying. The conquerors called Ani the City of 40 Gates and 1001 churches, but they left it a city of ashes and broken dreams. Yet Ani did not die. Like a phoenix, it rose again scarred, but unbowed. New rulers came and went: Georgians, Kurds, Mongols, Persians, Ottomans. Each left their mark, carving their own stories into the city's bones. The churches were rebuilt, the markets reopened, the people returned. But something had changed. The city's golden age was over, and a shadow had fallen across its future. As the centuries passed, Ani became a city of paradoxes. It was both a jewel and a battleground, a sanctuary and a target. Its churches once filled with the sound of hymns, became silent sentinels, watching as armies marched and empires crumbled. Earthquakes shook its foundations, fires gutted its palaces, and the river that once brought life now marked the border between worlds. But perhaps the greatest mystery of Ani is not how it fell, but how it survived. For even as its population dwindled and its buildings crumbled, the city refused to disappear. Travelers from distant lands merchants, monks, spies, and scholars continued to visit Ani, drawn by its reputation as a place of wonder and danger. They wrote of its beauty and its desolation, its treasures and its ghosts. One such traveler was William of Rubruck, a Flemish Franciscan who passed through Ani in the 13th century. He described a city once great and populous, now reduced to a handful of inhabitants. Yet even in its decline, Ani retained a strange, magnetic power, a sense that something extraordinary had happened here, and might yet happen again. The 19th century brought a new kind of visitor, the archaeologist. European explorers, armed with notebooks and cameras, arrived in Ani, eager to unlock its secrets. They mapped its streets, sketched its churches, and marveled at its architecture. They found evidence of lost technology, ingenious water systems, advanced masonry, and mysterious inscriptions that hinted at forgotten knowledge. Some whispered that Ani was more than just a city. They spoke of hidden chambers beneath the cathedrals, of tunnels that led to secret vaults, of relics that could change the course of history. Was Ani the inspiration for the legends of Atlantis? Did it hold the key to lost civilizations, to technologies that defied explanation? The line between history and myth began to blur, and Ani's legend grew. But the city's greatest secret was not buried in the earth. It was written in the stones themselves, in the way the light fell through shattered windows, in the patterns of moss on ancient walls, in the silence that lingered long after the last inhabitant had gone. Ani was a city that remembered, even when the world forgot. In the 20th century, Ani's fate took another cruel turn. The city, now caught between the borders of Turkey and Armenia, became a pawn in the great geopolitical struggles of the modern era. Access was restricted, and the ruins fell into neglect. The churches crumbled, the frescoes faded, and the city's stories slipped further into the shadows. Yet, even in abandonment, Ani refused to be erased. In recent years, archaeologists and historians have returned, determined to rescue the city from oblivion. They have uncovered new evidence of Ani's past, fragments of manuscripts, shards of pottery, traces of ancient rituals. Each discovery adds a new layer to the city's story, a new twist in its tale. And still, the mysteries remain. Why did Ani fall so far, so fast? Was it doomed by its own ambition, or undone by forces beyond its control? What secrets lie hidden beneath its ruins, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to look? For the true crime and mystery lovers, Ani is a city of unsolved puzzles. There are tales of hidden treasures, of monks who vanished without a trace, of curses that linger in the stones. Some say the city is haunted, that the spirits of its lost inhabitants still wander the streets at night, searching for something they can never find. For the students and scholars, Ani is a living laboratoria, place where history is not just studied, but experienced. Its architecture reveals the genius of medieval engineers. Its art reflects the faith and fears of generations. Its ruins challenge us to rethink what we know about the past. For the dreamers and the romantics, Ani is a city of poetry. Its beauty is not in what remains, but in what has been lost. The wind that whistles through its empty streets carries the echoes of 1,000 stories of love and loss, of hope and despair, of glory and ruin. As the sun sets over Ani, the city is bathed in golden light. The shadows lengthen, and the ruins glow with a strange, otherworldly beauty. It is easy to imagine the city as it once was alive with music and laughter, its towers gleaming in the sun, its people dreaming of a future that seemed limitless. But Ani's true power lies not in its past, but in its ability to make us question the present. What will remain of our own cities, our own dreams, when the centuries have passed? What stories will our ruins tell? Will we be remembered, or will we too become ghosts? The lost city of Ani is more than a relic. It is a mirror, reflecting our own hopes and fears, our triumphs and our failures. It is a reminder that nothing lasts forever, but that every ending is also a beginning. The city may be lost, but its story endures waiting for those who are willing to listen, to imagine, to believe. So, the next time you find yourself standing in a place that feels forgotten, listen to the wind. You might just hear the heartbeat of Ani, calling you to remember, to wonder, and to never stop searching for the stories that lie hidden in the shadows of history. If you found yourself captivated by the mysteries of Ani, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Join us as we continue to uncover the lost cities, forgotten empires, and ancient secrets that still shape our world today.